I'm your host, Boston Rob. Welcome to Friday Night Hangout. I'm here joined, as always, with my buddy, professional poker player, Josh Arieh. And tonight, we got a fun show for you guys. We are going to be playing poker again on the PokerGO Holdem app. We're going to be talking poker, and we're going to have a couple chances to do that. So we're going to play some sit and goes, give you guys some opportunities to win some prizes. So right off the bat, we want to get into a little bit of content. Tonight, a little something different. We're going to play a little bit of Josh's Hot Limit Omaha tournament from the WSOP.
Make sure it's one that I won.
So we can start that in the background right away. Here it is at the old Rio.
It's so nostalgic.
Yeah, I mean that's an old school. Like,
you know
I think
what's
we were just
cool is in 2004, I made the final table at the main event. The next year, it moved to the Rio. So
and it was there for a lot of years until it now moved just this last year.
Yeah. I won a bracelet in 2005, and then I closed it off with a bracelet in 21. So
yeah,
there was a lot of dead space in between, but I bookended the Rio pretty good.
Yeah, so like, a lot of people, the poker boom started like 2011. If you guys are just joining us, we're talking with Josh Arieh, 2021 WSOP Player of the Year. And a lot of the poker boom started, Josh, with No Limit Hold'em, but you specialized from the beginning in Pot Limit Omaha. Take me through that decision process.
It wasn't really a decision. In Atlanta playing poker, you're playing underground, and most of the games were Limit Hold'em. And once in a while, we would play Limit Hold'em and then High-Low Omaha. And then I worked my way to Biloxi, and the big game in Biloxi was always all these guys from Texas and Louisiana and Mississippi, and they're playing Pot Limit Omaha. And it was like my dream to be able to play in that game, because if I were to get into that game, I made it. And so I learned how to play and brought it back to Atlanta, and a lot of people, it caught on. And then we started playing a lot of Pot Limit Omaha. And, there was just a gamble aspect to it that I really liked, that, that I wasn't afraid of. You have to get in there and gamble a lot. And I just really enjoyed it. And
that's what it's known for. PLO is known as a gambling game. It's a type of game that, you can't be afraid to get your chips in there and take some chances, right?
One of the things that I always tell people, like when you're thinking Pot Limit Omaha versus No Limit Hold'em, is No Limit Hold'em is a game of got 'em. It's like you make a hand, then you get all your money in. Pot Limit Omaha is a game of get 'em. It's like stay on the draw and be able to improve your hand, because the board changes every time. And if you're not the one that has that change, somebody else probably does.
Most likely.
It's just important to play hands that you can continuously improve your holdings with.
Yeah, you're always betting the come, so to speak.
Yeah,
you want to catch the next hand, and you can't be afraid to put your money in with the draw. A lot of times, big draws are more profitable, and definitely like even a mathematical advantage to a made hand in some spots.
Yeah, what's funny is like playing Hold'em, you sit around and wait and wait and wait, and you get a set. Like you flop a set, and you're so happy. It's like the pinnacle of playing No Limit Hold'em is flopping a set and seeing how much money you're going to win. Playing Pot Limit Omaha, it's like you flop a set, buckle up, and it's not, yes, I flopped a set. It's, oh shoot, I flopped a set. So two very different games, two different strategies. I was always just I just always, the way my brain works, I guess it related to Pot Limit Omaha a little bit more than to No Limit Hold'em.
Yeah, if you guys are just joining us, we're talking with 2021 WSOP Player of the Year, Josh Arieh. He's talking to us a little bit about Pot Limit Omaha, which is different than No Limit Hold'em in a lot of different ways. And tonight we're actually going to play some No Limit Hold'em on the PokerGO Holdem app. So if you guys want to get in the game, we're going to have some prizes to give away. The first thing you need to do is download the game. So go to the App Store, Google Play, whatever operating system you have, and download the PokerGO Holdem app. After that, after you download it, you're going to want to make an account, and you guys should do that now so that you're able to join the game when we start here in just a little bit. We're going to try to play twice tonight, and I think we're going to do it a little different. I think I'm going to play the first game, and Josh is going to play the second game, and we'll critique each other's play, so to speak. I'm sure I'm going to get more critiques than he is.
I'll go easy on you, buddy.
But yeah, once you download the game, you want to join the private area of the game. And I'm just going to show you here on my phone how to do it. So what you'll do is, well, they can bring it up there in the background. Can you guys bring it up so we can walk them through how to join it in the background? We'll just give our tech support main man, aka Tanakan. Here he is. So this is what your home screen looks like, and you'll see in the top right-hand corner, there's an icon with three little guys right there. And if you click on that, the next thing you'll do is you're going to want to join the private table. So that's on the right-hand side. You'll join the private table, and it will ask you for a special code to get in. You press the invites and then join the private table, and the code is Boston Rob. That's a code to join the game. And then I think we have 6 seats available. So then you'll buy into the game. I think it's 10,000 play money chips. And once it fills up, we'll start. But
everybody's account is automatically loaded with chips. You don't have to buy chips to get
started. You don't have to play. It's free to play. Everybody has chips to start with. And then tonight we're doing a giveaway. I think we're going to give away credit to the PokerGO store for merch. If you guys want hoodie, sweatshirt, I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing tonight.
So
go ahead and roll the table. Go ahead, yeah.
Okay.
Catherine's downloading it now. Thank you, Catherine. Oh, that's the one other thing I got to do is I got to bring up the chat here. Oh, there's Nick Bowen from the PGT. That's not the PGT tour in Las Vegas. That's the Pensacola Greyhound track. That's my buddy Nick. He's they're probably playing there tonight, playing PLO. I can tell you the lineup. Probably some of your buddies from back in Biloxi are over there from the old days.
Those days, man. I used to anytime had my bankroll like to $1,000, I would jump in the Honda Civic and I would fill it up with gas, and I could make it down there in one tank of gas. And there were many times that I went broke before I checked into a hotel room and drove straight home.
Oh yeah, that's a long drive from Atlanta too. That's 5 hours.
5 hours, and I would leave $60 in the glove compartment of my car, just to make sure that I had gas money to come home with, because I didn't have a credit card back then. And man, and there was one time where I got down there, I played for 3 days straight, and I'm playing on the natural. I was 21, 22, and played for 3 days straight. And I checked into the Motel 6, and I woke up to like the security guard dumping me off the mattress because they thought I was dead. Like there's no telling how long they beat on the door. Man, Biloxi brings back some amazing memories, man. Some great people. There's the Mississippi Gulf Coast, the people down there are the coolest and nicest people in the world. Like
they really are a great bunch.
So many people opened up their doors to us, and We had I've got some amazing memories from down in the bayou.
Look at here's that situation you were talking about. You flopped a set. Luckily, it's top set. You're up against aces. It doesn't look like there's. You can't be too concerned here. You're fading a flush draw, maybe backdoor straight, which just got there. Is that a concern of yours at this point in the hand? Are you worried about that straight?
Not really. I think that once he checks, I'm not really worried about the straight. I really wasn't worried about the straight anyway. It's just the way the hand. I had a really good. I was very fortunate to be on his left in this tournament. And
pause it right now there, if you could just pause it. So, like, you're on his left. He checks the turn. You check back. And then the river's a tough card. It's a bad card for you because now there's a lot of straights out there, right?
I'm not worried. I mean, you can see that I have like the idiot end of the straight.
Right.
You know, it makes the jack queen, but me checking the turn, it's basically like Tommy Lee is an amazing player and he's really capable of just putting me to the test. And I check the turn only because I'm going to call on the river no matter what.
You want to keep the pot smaller.
Yeah, it's just managing the size of the pot. I really wasn't worried about losing the hand, and the river doesn't really change. I mean, it obviously doesn't change anything because I have 3 kings, and but it's the turn check was just making sure that I don't make the pot big enough to where I have to fold. That's, I mean, I could have been more aggressive because I'm pretty sure he doesn't have 7-9, but it's just one of those hands where I'm not going to win a huge pot. If the board pairs, then I can win a big pot.
Mm-hmm.
So at that final table, like I always go with the strategy. I'm not trying to play the best players in every situation. Like in my head, I'll rank the different players at the table. And obviously, besides myself or along with myself, I thought of Tommy Lee as the best player or, you know, tied with me. I have a very big ego when I'm running hot.
No. When you're running hot?
Yeah,
are you kidding me? You've been running hot forever, apparently.
But, you know, I'm not trying to play big pots against Tommy at this stage. You know, later on, I know that I'm going to have to play a big pot with him, and hopefully I'll have 55 or 60% equity instead of 45 to 40. So I just wanted to make sure that I kept the pot small. That's all this hand is.
Okay. Go ahead. You can run it again. You can.
How's your satellite going? What's it look like?
That's what I was just checking right now.
He actually just ends up checking back to river.
It looks like
he had aces versus kings and literally lost the minimum. So yeah, I can never be too careful.
I might have gotten kicked out because I waited so long.
Yeah, a little bit of Phil Hellmuth, and we'll talk today.
Let's talk a little bit about that big Phil Hellmuth stuff you got going on with Jason Kuhn, Pocket Fives.
So, you know, hats off to Phil Hellmuth for, you know, accepting Jason Kuhn's Jason Kuhn coming in as the challenger. I think this is the 5th and final round of the heads up duel number 3, and both players are putting up 800,000.
That's a big heads up battle. That's 1.6 million. Yeah.
Sean just put in there that there's 1 seat.
Yeah,
left.
there is. There's 1 seat left. I'm on the app now. So if you guys want to join,
just make sure it doesn't close.
Now's the time.
Yeah, and so Jason Kuhn was kind enough to. I was able to talk him into giving my people at Pocket Fives a sweat. So we have the ability of up to 100 people taking $80 a piece. So you can watch, I believe it's on December 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern time on the PokerGO app. You can watch Jason Kuhn and Phil Hellmuth battle it out for 800,000. And if you go to www.pocketfives.com, you'll have the ability to buy up to an $80 piece of Jason Kuhn's action, and you can be Team Kuhn and join the army. And it's always better with, you know, bringing it in
a little bit of sweat, right?
Yeah, it's a lot more fun to watch, you know, as a fan. But at the same time, in Jason's shoes, you know, it's a lot more fun. Having
We're
it
on here.
to,
Just wanted to let the people know. Sorry to interrupt real quick, but we are on. The game is on.
At the
It
PokerGO
started.
Series.
And let's just turn the volume down on that if we could. Yeah, okay.
but yeah, it's as the player when you know that you have a bunch of people in your corner and they're sweating you, it's a lot of fun, you know. And I know that from experience because during the World Series, I often sell shares of myself, and I know that you did it for the first time for this tournament that you have coming up. Why don't you tell
Yeah,
us?
yeah. So we're playing the Run Good main event this weekend. We're out here at Thunder Valley. It's $1 million guarantee, $2,500 buy-in. And my buddy Josh convinced me to sell 10%. So if you guys are I think we might be sold out of this one.
It is. It's
But
sold out pretty quick.
yeah, but we
We'll have to
can
do it
maybe
again.
do it again and give. I hate selling action because personally, I feel responsible if I don't do good, and then secondarily, if I do good, I don't like to share. I
Yeah.
want to keep it.
So, I mean, is this? I've played a few run good stops, but I don't think that there's ever been $1 million.
No, this is a big one. This is the biggest tournament they've had. So hats off to the president of Run Good, Tana Karn, for not only creating the series and the tour, and of course shout out to Ben Irwin out here, tournament director. He's been showing us an awesome time. Great facility, great hotel, wonderful
It's really
staff.
cool. It's really cool. Like I really get FOMO every time I'm scrolling social media when one of these stops are going on, because I always see like it's a group of really cool and fun people.
Yeah.
And I just get FOMO when I see Ray and Chris just smiling from ear to ear in a
Yeah.
million photos, and then seeing you and Chris Conrad and Tana and now with this heater that Tana's on with the slots. Now
Yeah,
I'm really
let me tell you about the
yes,
FOMO
would
I
be
had. I
there.
went to bed 10 minutes later. I looked, I was in bed, fired up social media, and I saw my buddy hit another 5-figure score last evening.
Good for
I don't know
him.
how he does it.
Well,
So the action is on here. I'm finally in a hand. But so I'm going to play this one, and then we'll take a little time out. You can do a little PLO hand analysis for us, and then you'll fire up the next one.
okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, it's
See how I did that? I just talked it up. I said, I'm finally in a hand here.
yeah.
Raise and take it.
Yeah.
The thing about these sit and goes is they're fun because they're quick, like they're
I
not
do
gonna,
like that.
they're
I
not
do.
gonna, it's not a structure that you're gonna sit there a long time, and you can figure out a way to get on the app with your friends. You could even figure out a way to create your own code if you wanted to play a private sit and go and get on there and do it. Obviously, there's other tournaments, there's other aspects of the app other than the sit and go. We're just utilizing this because it's a lot of fun to, do and talk and interact together. But definitely download the PokerGO Holdem app and check it out.
So Rob, what's next for you after this?
Yeah, so we're here in Thunder Valley after I win the main event this weekend.
I like the sound
I'm
of
going
that.
back to Florida. I'm going to see the family for a few days, and then I have to head to Orlando. There's a charity event that I've supported for a lot of years called Give Kids the World, and it's a wonderful organization. It helps children that are. It's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation. Children that have very serious illnesses, and they do a lot of great. So I'm going to go down there and support them for their reality. They have a bunch of reality stars that come, and they have different events and stuff.
That's cool, man. I
Yeah,
bet they love
it's
seeing
really
you
fun.
there.
And then after that, we'll be out in Vegas the week after for the Run Good Pro-Am.
I'm excited for that. I'm going out.
Yeah.
I think I'm going out on the 10th or the 11th, and I'm going to play the big tournament at the Wynn.
Right. That's
and
going to be a
then-
huge tournament too.
I know.
They've given away so many seats. They said maybe like 4 million plus maybe for first.
God.
Are you going to sell on pocket fives?
I don't know, buddy.
You
I
got the same problem I have.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna scoop this one up by myself. I don't, I see there's a lot of people. I don't know. I might give some taste, but I think I might be a little greedy with this one and keep it all to myself.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a fun tournament. And
But
then,
after that, we have the Contenders Pro-Am?
yeah, the Pro-Am, the Run Good season finale at the PokerGO Studios, which is a lot of fun.
If I win that, do I win a ring?
You have zero chance to win that, bro. I'm in that tournament.
0 chance.
I'll do everything I can to make sure you win. You know how many bounties I'll put on you?
I really need to get a ring. It's you and Tana both have rings, and it's I think about it a lot, way more than I should.
Oh, I'm sure you're losing a lot of sleep at night, cuddled up next to your bracelets and your bank accounts.
Yeah, but no, I those rings are pretty cool. I remember when Tana shot us a picture of them before they were revealed. That was I thought it was pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I'm excited because that Sunday the Patriots are actually playing the Raiders in Vegas, and I think we're all going to try to go to the game for Sunday Night Football.
Yeah. I think I owe you drinks for that night and Nobu. I think.
Oh, you do. You do.
I think I owe you both. I'm going to be broke.
I'm in a big hand here. No, raise fold.
So what's like the deepest you've run in a tournament? Like besides your ring win up in Cleveland,
right?
That I'm not counting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I remember a time back at the Isle or something at the IP in Biloxi. Didn't you make a
long time ago in one of the circuits? I did. I made a final table. That was
back when the circuit events were like pretty big.
It was pretty fun, like I was playing a lot of poker then. My kids were, I think maybe I only had 2 of them then, and they were really young. So I spent a lot of time, when they were young, playing in and around Pensacola, the dog track. Again, shout out to the guys that are over there tonight. My buddy Bobby. He's an avid listener. Bobby, shout out if you're out there. And, and then the whole Gulf Coast, that Gulf Coast area.
So was that, I think, if I remember, did you get 5th place or 9th
I think it was 3rd place. I'm pretty sure it was 3rd. I got.
Look it up here. I'm going to pull up your Hendon Mob and let's see how you're doing.
I did good in another tournament too. You know what it was? It was a tournament that we played together down in Costa Rica. Remember, you had to win your table and you were in, and I lost my table, but they had a second chance where you had to play the field. Yeah. And I beat the field to get in, only to get all my money in with 2 pair against David Williams set, and he slow rolled me.
So your highest, it says that your best cash in your life is 50,000. What?
That's probably right.
Here it is. Oh yeah, that's that tournament. You came in 6th.
Yeah.
At the Calvin Air. Oh, who won?
That was so much fun. I got paid 50,000 in cash. They paid me in the back room. Remember they had the money machine?
Who won that tournament?
Come on. Listen to me. Who won that tournament?
Have you seen this? Have you seen this before?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Let me get DW online too.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. That was I remember that was when Chuck Liddell was at the peak of his what's the word? Celebrity, or the peak of his fame.
Yeah.
And we're on a tour bus, and we're doing these excursions. We're checking out all different spots of Costa Rica, and Baked Alaska, I'll be with you in a minute. All I see is I was behind.
Which is standard for Josh in a lot of
No,
tournaments when all the chips go in.
So we're on this tour bus, and Chuck Liddell opens up, and he's starting to tell all these stories. There's probably like 12 of us.
Yeah.
And somebody offers somebody like $200 to have Chuck Liddell choke him out.
It was Mike Mizraki.
And but no, Chuck Liddell wouldn't do it, but it was a lot of fun, man. He was
I
really,
remember
really,
it differently. I remember he choked him out.
No.
I
He
remember
wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. I'm pretty sure I'm right, but you might
that
be
was
right.
a
But
wild trip. I
yeah.
remember the Federales raided Calvin's place
I
while
know.
we were there in
I
the
know.
riot gear.
That was luckily it was after the tournament. It was the party. And and I had already won the money, and they couldn't take it back. I was really worried about getting paid, but I got paid. That was pretty cool. That was, and David Williams came in second in that as well.
What happened?
I don't know, but
what just happened there? That was weird. I don't know what
Baked
happened.
Alaska said something. I think Baked Alaska was talking about
I got it for you right here. It says, let me look at it. It says there was a televised hand from day 2 or 3 of the 2004 main event when Josh was all in and behind and you binked the river. Can you tell the story about what happened? Baked Alaska, just so you know, Baked Alaska is probably the person that you put the bad beat on. So make sure you remember it accurately.
No, I remember the guy. He was a really cool guy. I can't think of his name. He was a Canadian guy that was really cool. Anyway, we get into a hand where it's like I'm in the big blind and he raised under the gun, and I called the big blind with the 8-10, and the flop came 4-6-7, and I led right out. Just like, I had no fear back then. I didn't know much about No Limit Hold'em, and I led right out, and he called, and then the turn is like a 2, and I just went all in, and we were both very deep. Like I was just on a kamikaze mission. And he thought for a little while and called, and he had a set of 4s, and I had the open ender, and this was like 2 hands before dinner. I had a group of 4 people of like Eric Lindgren, Daniel Negreanu, Brian Ballsbaugh. They're waiting for me at dinner over at the Golden Nugget. And I remember I didn't even stack my chips after I shit out. And I walked in and like felt it is the weirdest feeling, because I can't believe that I just put myself in jeopardy like that, where like I can't remember his name, man. But we were like both in the top 5 in chips. Oh, baby.
Folded. Oh no, the other guy called. He had a 7.
Oh. Hey, guess what, Rob? He did not fold.
I won the side pot.
But yeah, it was a reality check, and it added to all those feelings. Like when you make a deep run in the main event like that, stuff like that happens, and
you have to get lucky. There's so many times. Like I remember there was one hand in the tournament that I just won with the ring, and I had like the 5-4 offsuit, and I made a ridiculous play, and I got super lucky, and I ended up, surviving.
In
2 pairs,
a long session, especially in the main event, when you're playing 7 days in a row, you're not going to have the best hand every time. It's just the way that it is. And I always tell people that really don't know much about poker is the skill part of it is playing good enough to give yourself a chance to get lucky. and if you're not in there when it's time to get lucky, then obviously, is that Rob got beat
I was
again?
forced in the big blind.
Okay.
I was forced in. Yeah, so I have no fold equity here. No matter what, I have to go with it because I got 3,200 in the small blind, and it's 3,264 at this
Wow,
point.
you guys really played it snug to.
Yeah, everybody's still in.
Everybody's
and
got
like,
two big blinds.
All right, here we go. We got the 89 offsuit.
Okay.
I mean, it's
I'm
connected.
sure you've been all in with worse.
And 2 flush draws.
And you're dead.
Thanks for playing.
Flush.
Yeah.
Oh, the flush guy gets there. So let me ask you a question about a hand that I played the other day in the 100K tournament out here, and you tell me what you think.
Okay.
I already know what you think, but I'm just gonna go through it anyway. So the situation is that it's day one of the 100K, and 19 people are going to make it through the day. It's the end of the night. There's 29 people left. We're about an hour, about a level or so away from hitting that. I have pretty good chips. I have 220K in chips, and the blinds are 2,000 and 4,000.
Oh, wow. So you're sitting.
So I got like 50 bigs, right? So I get moved to a new table. So I don't know anybody there. It's like the third or fourth hand. And the only person that's super aggressive is this Asian lady at the table. And she's raising and re-raising a lot of different hands. So it folds to me on the button. And I look down at the Queen Jack of Hearts. And I open to 12K at 2-4.
You don't need to open that big. I mean, I don't know.
I know I don't, but I did.
Okay.
That's not the interesting part of this.
No, but I want you to know that.
I know it's setting me up to play a bigger pot. Right.
Yes.
So I should probably open here for
open
10.
for 8, and you open for 8, and if somebody makes it 28, now you can play your hand. It's a really good hand. But keep going. You open for 12, and then what happens?
I open for 12. She makes it 35,000 in the big blind.
Okay.
I forgot to tell you, she started with approximately 125,000 in the hand.
It's auto fold, no matter what.
Yeah.
And so what'd you do?
I made it 95. Thinking that she can't, because there's I feel like she needs jacks or better to call a shove here in this spot. That's my thinking. My thinking is, in this spot, if I 4-bet here, she needs jacks or better to call. And if she has jacks or better, then you know what? I made a really bad play. But if not, I'm not in terrible shape. So she starts to think about it for a little bit. And it's taken longer, than I want it to take. So I just tell her I can beat 10s. And as soon as I say that, she calls me with 2 9s.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, I mean, I think that the trouble started by making it 12K.
Right.
The blinds are 2,000 and 4,000. You make it 8,000 or 9,000, and then she probably makes it 20,000 or like 25,000, and then you can decide to see a flop for 25,000. You have a hand that's got a lot of equity.
Yeah.
But if you could be, I mean, ace queen's got you in such bad shape. You don't have any aces.
But so my thinking is not and explain this, where I'm wrong, because my thinking is not focused so much on what she has or her hand. My thinking is focused more on where we are in the tournament. We've been playing for 10 hours all day. right? Is this a spot that she wants to get her money in when she still has, 30, 35 big blinds? She doesn't have to go nuts here.
Well, you got to remember for you especially is that like the chance to play a pot with you is always going to it's somebody is going to lean more towards calling
Just so she can
or
have a
moving
story.
in.
Yeah.
Just to beat you. I mean, that's what you're there for. That's what the ambassadors are there for. And that's what you signed up for, but you have to use that. Let me buy in real quick. All right, guys, we got
Man,
three
I
seats
didn't see
left.
who won. Who was the winner? Who was the winner?
I I missed it too, but I'm sure.
Tana will tell us, and we will make sure that whoever the winner is gets their PokerGo store gift card.
Yeah.
Um,
And the same goes for this one. It's going to be me. It's going to be a little bit harder to beat me than it is Rob. But going back to that hand, Rob, you
Again, before we get to the hand, let's just acknowledge the avatar that you have there. Was that
I mean,
like from your
it's personalized.
I
I have no idea. It's just there. I don't know
mean, it
how,
looks
but
just
it's like
like you. The
it could
artist,
be
the
me.
artist's
I mean,
rendering is like pretty
yeah.
much perfect. But go ahead, go back to it.
But it's really important to especially with hands that just like that have so much equity. You really want to see flops like that, and when you made it 12,000, it really makes it hard on you, especially by the size of the big blind stack. You could have, you probably would have. I don't know. What was the flop? Would you have been able to fold on the flop, or could you have stolen it on the flop? I mean,
Yeah.
it's
No. I mean,
so
yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. I
yeah,
mean, so in that situation, lean more towards min raise or small ball versus playing
yeah,
a big pot.
yeah, because
I
that hand's just got so much equity,
yeah.
and I mean, in hindsight, I mean, you did have a flip, and you put the person to the test, and you almost made him lay down 2 9s. So there's
It
different
was
ways
a
of winning at
her. It
poker.
was a her. So
Yeah,
there's that
I mean,
too.
there's different ways to win at poker, and one way isn't going to always be the right way. So
Right.
I mean, don't kill yourself. You had a flip, and you put her to the test. Unfortunately, you lost the race, but
Yeah. And
but
I think had
when you
I
have
had I
50,
thought about it a little bit more and had I had a little bit more of a table image, because really she doesn't know me because I just came in, I think it changes the dynamic a little bit. It's hard to, like, after I thought about it, it's hard for me to make that play when, you
uh,
know, she doesn't really know anything about me and she could
yeah,
just think like whatever.
yeah, yeah. It's just it's hard to get people. I mean, what was the entry fee? $250.
Yeah, it was like $600.
Oh, it's 600.
So,
Shit. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, that's people know what they're doing. Guys, we have one seat available. Let's get this thing going. You're hurting my feelings.
Yeah, if you guys are just joining us, we're playing poker on the PokerGo Holdem app. It's available to download in the App Store, Google Play. It's free to play, and just come on in and join us, hang out, and
Why don't you go through the how you get in the game real quick?
yeah. Okay,
If
so
there's
if you are just joining, once you get into the PokerGo app, on the top right-hand side, you'll see a little avatar of three guys, and you can see it right here. It's like three heads in the top right-hand side. You're going to click on that, and once you do, it's going to bring up a small drop-down menu where you will press invite and then join private table. And then once you click join private table, after you click invite, it's going to ask you to enter the code. The code is Boston Rob, and you are in. Obviously, you have to buy in, which there are free chips available. So you press buy in, take your seat, pay the buy in, which is free, and then you're in the game. And I guess we're gonna play for another gift card, $100 gift card to the PokerGO store. So there's one seat left. You know what? Do you want me to join? Should I join and play again?
Come on, let's go. I need to
You have
win some
arrived
side bets
at the
back from you.
Poker Open Series.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you haven't beaten me yet, but
Well,
that's all going to change, right?
is that you?
No, it got filled up. Okay. Raz is back in. Raz played before. So good. Raz got back in.
Yeah, I'll take that, Raz. I'm coming.
Man, what about the game of Raz? You're pretty pro. You play all the games anyway,
No,
but
I mean,
you don't like it?
I hate it. I mean, I'm trying to make good hands, not bad hands. And I'm lucky and like catch good cards, and that doesn't really work.
You just
for
catch
me.
bad cards. You're
Yeah,
still being lucky. Catch
Yeah.
the right cards.
I'm getting a hang of this app. It's easy. When you
Yeah,
fly.
me too. It is easy. I think this format is better when we play one at a time because it allows you to focus a little bit.
Well, come on, already guessed 551678.
Listen, she's putting you to the test.
Oh, she's bullshitting. Oh my gosh, that was fast.
Maybe
That
she was. Yeah, it's a quick clock here. You don't get a
Yeah,
lot
it
of
is.
time to think.
I like it.
No time banks. They're right to business. So I mean, you played even back in the day. Look at this. She's just auto shoving here. It looks like. But back in the day, you played quite a bit of online poker as well when it was still legal in the States.
I did.
Yeah.
I liked to think I was good, and as the years go by, I realized just how bad I was and how far behind I was.
No, you're talking nonsense now.
No,
I remember going to Florida with you on vacation, and you had like 3 screens set up, and you were battling Durr, and you were like, "This kid's really good," and you were crushing.
There were yes, I mean I had my moments, but I was light years behind. I didn't believe in online poker is about reading the statistics that your HUD. A HUD is a heads-up display that basically tells you your opponent's frequencies, and I didn't ever use one, and so I was again behind the 8 ball, so to say. Playing all these young guys that understood all the extra software that went with, the poker tracker and all that stuff.
But it's kind of scary to think about because now you have similar issues coming up in conversation about, the different softwares that people are using with online poker with solvers and all this other stuff that effectively allows them to play perfectly.
Yeah. And that's one of the issues that, these online advocates and people that are trying to get online poker back nationwide, it's going to be one of the stumbling blocks that they have to, explain how they're going to keep people from playing against these certain situations in order to get online poker to grow I'm just not sure. We'll see. Online poker's tough. I would much rather look a guy in the eye and,
if he's got that solver memorized in his head and he can do it, then okay.
More power to him. And
I feel like that too. I've always liked live play better than online.
But the thing about the solvers is the outputs change for every single action. So for a person to play solver perfect throughout an entire hand live, it's basically impossible because the solver really changes its GTO perfect method based on every street.
It
So if you
also does
leave,
the fact for the human factor, like if it's assuming that your opponent is going to play to those tendencies, not knowing if perhaps like the opponent's on tilt or,
yeah,
like is going to play a hand differently, right?
yeah, no, it's live poker is going nowhere. Like live poker will always be here. I mean, poker is so interesting. It's not a game that can really be mastered. There's certain aspects and certain types of poker that can be mastered, but tournament poker will always be here, and anybody can win at any time. But when it comes in to an online environment, it's a lot tougher for the novice player to do really well.
Yeah. Nathan, I see you there. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've loved poker for a long time. It's funny. There are a lot of similarities between the two games, between Survivor and poker, especially tournament poker. A lot of the same lessons, a lot of the same skills and the patience and a lot of the same attributes you need to play both games. Let me ask you this, Josh. What do you think about like the advancements of some of the games, some of the new games, like the short deck games and stuff like that? You think they'll catch on and become mainstream?
I don't think so. I think it's too complex. I mean, it's too, like, using a short deck for example. An ace 6 7 8 9 is a straight. Like, how are you
Right.
ever going to explain that or put that in a headline and get people to understand it? It's just not going to happen.
Well, I mean,
Um,
like the people that play poker understand it, like you just have
yeah,
to
but
learn.
yeah, I don't see it happening. I think No Limit is a cool enough game, and it's just not. I don't think that the closest possible thing to getting really popular besides No Limit Hold'em, I think will always be PLO, just
Yeah,
because that an average player can beat a PLO game.
right.
Man, my phone's got 10%. My phone never has juice. But yeah, this other crazy games, high low is just, people want to bet all their chips, and people want to, that's what makes the No Limit more fun is putting your opponent to a test and seeing, if being able to bluff and, just
Well,
like, I
yeah,
think,
and you see the skill level versus like a hand where someone's just pedaling the nuts, like a big O game, a 5 card PLO high low, which they play a
yeah,
lot in Florida, and then it just becomes like whose quads beat who's straight flush,
right.
and it just gets, it's a
Yeah,
lot.
I mean, no limit hold'em is definitely, like, just to use the term that's been around for ages. It's the Cadillac of poker games, and
Yeah.
it's fun. It's got all the aspects that are interesting, and I think that it's just going to always be the main game, as it should. It's simple.
Is there
So
anything that stands out, like in all the years that you've played? Like you've seen everything, you've made royal flushes, you've seen anything, but like, is there one hand or one situation that like you always remember? Like this is something I'll never see again. Like just
hold on,
like,
hold on. I got a really good hand here.
uh-oh, that's a tell, or it's acting.
Cat, I'm
Well,
sorry.
you knew she was calling.
Oh,
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Look at that. The deuce hits the
I
river.
had aces.
Listen, I don't know if you guys caught that, but he just said, hold on. I have a really good hand.
That's the person that messed with me earlier. I don't like you, guest
Yeah.
581-579. No, there's a few hands that stick out to me most.
Brad
Not
Palmerton.
about
Brad,
it's
I'm sorry. Brad's asking, how do you get chips? Brad, just go into the app and download it. You can use a code Boston Rob, I think it gives you 50,000 free chips. And if that's the Brad Palmerton, the golfer from Florida, what's up, buddy? It's been a while.
There's a
Oh, yeah.
winner.
Three-way all in.
Wow. Sorry, you were saying you've seen it all, pretty much.
No, I mean, as far as like crazy hands, I really nothing comes to mind. The hands that are most memorable to me are just like a hand that I won my second bracelet with against Chris Ferguson. Nothing really crazy about the hand.
Yeah.
I just remember it. I remember my hand that I got knocked out third in the main event.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I tend to
Yeah.
remember the hands that I lost more than the hands that I won.
Yeah, I don't really.
Not that I'm dwelling on it, but I just seem to
Yeah.
remember them more.
I remember hands that.
Here you go, buddy.
are-
Your head's up. Let me see if
I'm
you
heads
can
up.
pull a rabbit out of your hat here.
Okay, let's go. Oh shit! No, can't. Oh, this is if I win, you owe me dinner.
Did
Were
you
you in
fold?
this? Oh, you
Did
weren't
you
even
just
in
fold?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Now they're gonna fold, so let's go. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna win. It's okay. King's coming.
There's a winner.
Oh, is there a
there
win?
we
Is
go.
that a winner, Brent?
There's a winner.
Thanks,
There's a winner.
Thanks.
You know
Thanks,
what?
Hank.
Congratulations, guest 55178. Not only did you beat my friend and save me dinner, but you won a $100 gift card to the PokerGO store. Congratulations. It was a lot of fun. Do you want to? Was there a PLO hand that we were going to go over? Can we load that up?
Yeah, I wanted to test your PLO knowledge a little bit.
Oh God.
And Tana, if you can go forward, I think there's a really cool hand around an hour in. I wrote down the minute mark. I think at the 47, maybe 57 minute. If you give me a second, I can check.
This is unfair because like I've played exactly maybe 3 pot limit Omaha tournaments in my life. Like every time I play PLO, it's cash and
57-40, Tana. This is going to be fun. Picking
All right.
on
It's coming up, yeah.
Because you have to play so tight. When you're the short stack, you know they actually want you to stay in the tournament a lot of the times.
Can you turn the volume off of the commentators?
Yeah, let's turn it off. We don't want any hints, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want any hints.
So how far into the tournament is this?
I mean,
there's
this is
this is the
4
final
left.
4.
Yeah, this is the final 4.
Okay, and you got the chip lead. You have a
pretty
big
good
chip lead. Yep, you're 2-1 over Lee.
And the guy under the gun is third in chips, and he opens with the king deuce 4. And so now I have this hand in the big blind.
Mm-hmm.
So I call the raise. Now let's see a flop and pause it.
Okay.
What do you do here?
Jack 9-4 with 2 clubs. So you got the nut club blocker.
I do.
Which is big. You also have an open-end straight draw. Probably I would check raise here.
Okay. Well, I checked and he checked. My idea was to check call because check raise isn't that bad, but check. I was going with the check call because I can make a good hand or I can represent the nuts on the turn. But now the third club comes on the turn and I have the ace of clubs.
Okay, pause it. Pause the thing. Pause it. We're killing this. Okay, so when the third club comes, you have the nut club draw. So
no, I have
right. You have the nut club blocker. Like assuming
correct.
right. Okay.
Correct.
And you're open-ended. So when the third club comes, now you're definitely check raising here, correct?
I was check raising for sure.
Yeah.
But this guy did a good job of managing the size of the pot, realizing that his two kings are a pretty good hand, and he checked behind me. So now, I mean, we've ruined this whole thing.
Yeah.
You can see that I bet we got to work better on this. So
Okay. So I didn't even see that till you just said it, but let me walk through it. So you check, he check with the intention to check raise, and that's exactly what I thought. And now on the river, the 8 comes and you brick and you lead for a really small amount.
one big blind.
I don't know.
Yes.
I'm giving up here. I'm check folding here.
You're check
Lot.
folding with the
Yeah.
naked ace.
With just a naked ace, yeah.
So what my thinking is I'm gonna bet 100K here. I have bottom 2 pair.
Right.
So if he calls, so what? Like betting 100K is similar to checking, except for the fact that it looks like a blocker bet. Like I'm trying to show strength to keep him from betting. And
So
if you
are you thinking that the 8-6 is good at showdown, or are you trying to rep the flush when you bet 100K?
I'm thinking that I don't care if I show down 6s and 8s for 100K, but I'm hoping that he sees this as a blocker bet. And because I have intentions of using my blocker card and lowering the boom if he tries to do something.
Yeah,
So
really. Even when he checks back the turn. See,
yeah.
okay, so this is where I lose you a little bit, because in my mind, the 8 is not such a great card because it makes a lot of straights. So I would think like the 8-6 is not so strong for me here because a lot of straights get there. And now at this point, if I bet and get raised, I almost always feel like my opponent has a flush,
But
even
Rob,
if it's
you
not
gotta remember,
not flush. And because he didn't bet the turn, I don't think he's folding to
there's a lot of money.
a big bet on the river.
You got to
No,
remember, there's a lot of money at stake, and I have the one card that people can use to bluff.
right.
I'm not going to get raised. There's no hand that I'm going to get raised with here. Very, very, very seldomly are they going to have a made flush and raise me. And I don't know. You can play the tape to see how this plays out. It ended up playing out absolutely perfect. In my head, I'm just sitting there thinking, please raise, please raise, please raise, please raise. If he just calls, I don't care. I can win or lose a small pot. It doesn't make a difference.
Right.
But if he raises, he has the perfect stack size because there's a guy behind that has less chips than him. And if this guy calls off wrong, we're talking about the difference between fourth and third is probably $30,000 or $40,000 at this point. I don't remember what exactly. First place was 200. Second place was probably 140. Third place was probably 90. Yeah, there was probably $40,000 difference in the decisions.
So he raises, and then you.
Yeah, so he raises here, and he looks at my 1K, my 100K bet, and raises to
425. Man, I hate that. See, it's 425. I see it on the bottom. But I hate that, dude. I hate having to like that's why you're a pro and I'm not. Like I hate the fact that I got to make a huge bet here to take the pot away.
Yeah, well, I'm just I don't know. I love the way this hand went down. I wish we could have gone through it without you know, the little peaks and everything. But yeah, I was really proud of this one. You know, even though I had the best hand, it
So what did you
was.
make it? You went all in? You bet the pot?
I raised it to 2 million,
Yeah.
and he snap folded. It was pretty cool. But that's like the luxury, you know, having the ace when I'm deep stacked like that. And here's a good tip for people that play Pot Limit Omaha at home. If you're deep stack enough, don't fall in love or discard hands because don't fall in love with suited aces, and don't discard a hand just because your ace isn't suited. Because if you're deep stack enough, that you can play a hand just like you have the suited 8 nut flush, suited ace nut flush,
Right.
and you'll be able to generate a lot of wins and get a lot of folds out of people because you have that ace in your hand.
I'll tell you what, buddy, you're in a league of your own, and I appreciate the insight. I think everybody else does too. A little peek into Pot Limit Omaha. I had a lot of fun tonight. I think we will try to run this back. Next week, I'm at that charity event in Orlando, but the following week will be in Vegas. Depending on whether or not you're in the tournament, it'll either be you or if you need me to grab someone to fill in next week.
Yeah,
but
we
for
can have
everybody else, yeah,
we'll have some cool options of what kind of show. You know, we could give everybody like a little backstage scenes of how the PokerGO studio looks. You know, we could interview. We could take some polls and see who we want to get interviewed on here, and we could instead of looking at our ugly mugs for an hour, we could. Have a
we could
type
do
of
that.
show.
We could have somebody else come in, guest hosting, maybe even add a third face to the fun. And if you guys did enjoy it tonight, but you got left out, make sure you download the PokerGO Holdem app so you're ready to go for next week. To everybody, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, buddy.
See you, buddy.